Ready. It's gonna be NeoGo this time, but before we dive into it, let me have a special section for you. We've got Pen Tested by Red4Sec. The scope of this test was rather limited and only included public services and demo applications provided by NeoSPCC. We have created a list of these services and gave it to Red4Sec, and the list is rather small and all the applications there are rather trivial, so when we have looked at it ourselves we thought what could possibly go wrong with them. But these guys know what to look for and they know better. So they had found at least 5 vulnerabilities, of which one we already knew about, and this also is the one that it's not yet fixed, because it will take us some time to really deliver a proper fix for it. But all the other ones, 4 of them, we have already fixed, and we can thank Red4Sec for their support. Amigos, muchas gracias! The biggest news for NeoGo is of course the long-awaited 0.102.0 release. It's compatible with C# Node version 3.6.0 that is used now both on testnet and mainnet, and it contains all of the relevant protocol updates as well as some NeoGo specific extras. One of them is an implementation of the old RPC error code proposal that we've been talking about for quite some time already. Now it's finally implemented and you can try it with NeoGo. We also have added some additional RPCs as well as improved our contract binding generator that is better than ever. So if you have not updated yet, go grab a new release. Right after this release, we have shifted our focus a little bit from NeoGo specific things to the generic Neo protocol. We know that some issues were found in 3.6.0 that also affect NeoGo, not all of them, but some of them. And we have proposed a solution to the conflicts storage scheme problem. And we have also proposed a plan for their 3.6.1 or 3.6.2 release. That will also have some compatible NeoGo version as well. And also we have a proposal for the next feature release of Neo, that is 3.7.0, and we expect to be working on these things more now than some NeoGo specific features. We do have some plans for NeoGo as well, that is we need to drop some deprecated things that we have in the node for the last year or so, and now it's time to finally drop them. And we also want to fix some bugs that we know about, and maybe we will implement some new features, but not huge ones. We want to improve the Neo generic protocol first, and then of course it will also be moving forward the NeoGo. We have previously promised you an end-to-end example for zero-knowledge proofs on Neo, and it's there in this Medium post. So we are using NeoGo 0.102.0, and we are using the new functions that were added to the Neo protocol, as well as other Go features and stack, and also some of the packages that were added into NeoGo exactly to support the zero-knowledge proofs. So we are using just Go, nothing else, and we have a complete example from proof generation to proof verification on chain. It's pretty interesting, so it's a nice read. We have pushed out a new NeoFS node version containing protocol updates, that is 0.38.0, and it was quickly followed by a bug fix release of 0.38.1. One of the core features of these releases is the new storage subsystem called Peapod. It was announced previously to replace Blobovnitzes, and while 0.38.0 release still contains support for Blobovnitzes in that you can just replace a node and expect Blobovnitzes to work just as they were working before. You can also migrate your data to the new storage subsystem, and you should be doing that because Blobovnicas are to be removed from the node pretty quickly. The next release, the 0.39.0, will not have support for Blobovnicas. So we have already migrated all the NeoSPCC nodes both on testnet and mainnet to this new version, and it's running fine for both networks. In this new version we have also added some new metrics and improved our CLI, so we are continuing the trend of improving the node usability and the tooling usability, and we will be continuing doing that in newer NeoFS versions. But you may ask, where is the contract auto-update and auto-deploy functionality that we've been talking about in previous episodes? It's not there yet for 0.38.0, but it will be a part of 0.39.0. And we are gradually moving towards it, testing all the things that needs to be tested before we are ready to roll this thing out. And one of the milestones we have achieved in this very long task is releasing the neofs-contract 0.18.0, and this release brings important changes to NNS-contract that allow some of the things for this auto-deploy functionality. So we are working on it and it will be delivered. NeoFS SDK has been updated as well. We have rolled out the RC11 version of it, and it's mostly based on the feedback that we have received from community. We have added some missing APIs for various use cases, and we have almost not changed the API itself except for dropping the deprecated functions that were supposed to go anyway. So it's stable now, and you can also grab it if you want to try NeoFS from Go. And please try it, please leave more feedback and we can update it before we take it to 1.0. But if you are planning to integrate NeoFS into your D app, you should also know about other possibilities besides the SDK written in Go. And all of the spectrum of it was recently covered in the NeoFS workshop that we have delivered for the ongoing hackathon. So if you haven't seen that, please check it out, and it really explains well what are the possibilities for you to integrate NeoFS. We have recently reworked our fs.neo.org website to use the Hugo engine, and it makes it easier to maintain this thing. And we also have added a new feature to it, that is the gas price calculator that can help you estimate the gas cost of storing things into NeoFS. It currently only takes into account the basic income part of the price and can't calculate the audited storage, but we will probably improve it in the future. We have a list of issues for FS-Neo.org future development, but the most important thing probably is that this list is currently public. This repository was previously private and basically no one had access to it other than NSPCC, but now it's public, so you can push your suggestions there, any issues, any bugs, or any PRs with some fixes or translations or whatever else you want to do with FS-Neo.org. So please come and let's make FS-Neo.org better. In the past 2 months, we have added more than 10 new tests to our NeoFS test suite. They mostly deal with the most widely used areas like tokens or like HTTP gateway. So if you are interested in how NeoFS is tested, or if you want to suggest some improvements, or if you have any patches, you can take a look at our test cases repo. Gateways have received a number of updates as well. We are linking just the latest ones for HTTP and S3, but you're probably not using S3. So these are mostly dealing with SDK upgrades and some minor bug fixes, but there was a little new feature added to the HTTP gateway to handle content type things better. So if you are running a gateway, you should probably get an upgrade. Speaking of gateways, one of the things we have recently added to our roadmap is improving our REST gateway and actually making a release of it, because The previous release was made like in last year, way back when. And even though we have updated the code base of it and we have some tests running for it, but it had not received any releases this year, and we are planning to change it. We also want to simplify our gateway overall ecosystem, in that we want to drop the HTTP gateway and move all of its functionality into the REST gateway, because both are pretty similar in many aspects, even though there are some API differences. But we can probably merge them, and we think that this will simplify running the network. Another ongoing thing for us that we are currently working on is improving Locode handling in the NeoFS nodes. It's surprisingly important for the network to have a proper location data for all of the nodes that participate in the network. That's the basic city, country, continent, and things like that. So we currently handle it with a binary database that's attached to the inner ring nodes, and then storage nodes submit their data, and inner ring nodes actually change the attributes of these storage nodes, which makes the protocol really inconvenient and somewhat unobvious to use and handle. So we want to streamline this, make it more efficient, and provide a generic Go package with the Locode data that's going to be reused by NeoFS CLI and NeoFS inner ring nodes, but actually will be available for any Go programmers as well. Another important and hot topic for us now is performance. And we are talking both about NeoFS node and gateways here, because we currently have in the queue some patches both for the node, and we actually have merged some of them that improve our write performance in some scenarios like threefold. And we also have some memory management improvements for gateways that in some cases improve our memory consumptions 30 times. That is, the gateway starts to use 30 times less memory for the same operation and actually uses less CPU at the same time. So we will be improving these metrics, and we will be delivering these improvements in the next both node and gateway versions.